Wow. Okay. Well, there we go. Hey, Blasphemers, hang tight. Amy, Zach's sister, is our guest, and we're about to start the show right.
We're about to start.
now.
We're about to start.
Hey, Blasphemers, welcome to Simple Blasphemy, where we have the best times with the worst topics.
We're three friends that discuss everything and nothing, from wacky headlines to games and trivia. All subjects bizarre and risque are on the table.
Our weekly guests range from friends, musicians, and artists to professionals in a variety of industries.
We go live on Facebook and YouTube every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Want to support the show? Join our Patreon. You can find it and more at www.simpleblasphemy.com.
So grab a drink, and join in!
It's too late now. This is Simple Blasphemy.
All right. Welcome to the Simple Blasphemy podcast, all of you blasphemers out there. My name is Zack Warden. I have with me always Andy.
And Andrew, if you're not into the whole brevity thing.
Okay. And also, the man that needs no introduction.
None at
Zack, the cleaner, Green. Right there.
Green or
Hey.
clean?
To get real serious here, I just want to give a shout out to my friend Brian Havel. His birthday's tomorrow, and he's in the hospital.
Oh.
Oh, Brian, thanks for watching. Hope you find some type of peace, man. Get out
Recover
there and
quick, man.
find an old can of chow mein.
Ooh.
Huh. Well, all the info on the show can be found on simpleblasphemy.com. And if you click that like, share, and subscribe button, you'll receive 5 years of what this week, Andy?
You get to choose a different tooth to fix every year.
Okay, there we go. As mentioned, this week's special guest is super special. More
Super
so
special.
to Green probably than to us. But
No,
so
no,
far,
I
that
think
could
this is
change.
pretty special.
That could change by the end of the show.
I didn't make my drink strong enough.
Amy, Zach's sister, is here. Could you believe it?
That's awesome. We've been talking about this for a long time, and I'm so glad it's
boy.
happening. Amy, so you're a doctor of veterinary medicine.
I am.
Awesome. That opens up so many things.
Brian says buffering, by the way. Just
Hang
FYI.
on. Buffering.
Yeah. So, man, there's so many questions that I think the world has.
They've all been answered.
They haven't been answered.
Yes,
I
Our-
might not be able to answer them.
That's true.
The index
Um,
is being written as we speak.
Yeah. Our second largest video that we have is a short clip of Zach.
Oh no, not
I'm not.
this
No,
again.
I'm not playing it. I'm just saying.
People can
our
look it up for
second-
themselves.
Yeah, our second. You can look up on our YouTube channel, and there's a section that has like the most viewed. Is Green having a conversation, a rather loud one, with a flat Earth expert? That was intriguing.
He
Oh,
went
yeah.
super green that day.
He was super green. Let's start at the beginning. I have a couple pictures just to kind of go through
no.
with you guys.
Oh boy.
It's okay. Amy, can you Amy, can you take us back? I mean,
She doesn't remember that.
How comfortable was that couch?
yeah.
That was
Oh, it was like
disgusting,
sandpaper.
everything.
Okay. Now it looks now correct me if I am wrong. It is abundantly clear that you look like your dad, almost like a twin, and Green looks exactly
Yeah.
like your mom. Like there's
Yep.
there one of the cells just said I'm gonna be this one, and the other one said I'm gonna be this one, and there's a clear
I
divide.
think so.
Mhm. The
I see.
spiral has a map.
Yeah, I see your mom, and I'm like, it looks like Zach. I mean, it's literally him. Is this an accurate, I guess, description of this?
Did people say this a lot?
People say that all the time.
We
Does
used
it
to
get
have-
old?
We used to have a picture of Zach and I, or maybe I put it on my in my dorm room or something, and they're like, "Oh, is that your boyfriend?" I'm like, "No, it's my brother." It's disgusting.
What literature are you reading?
Yeah.
I remember that taking that East
And
Lane
my
Mall.
boyfriend looked
Mom
more
wanted.
like
Oh,
my
we did it for Mom
brother.
because she wanted a portrait of us or something.
And my boyfriend looked more like my brother than
Oh,
Zack
wow.
did.
And I did.
That's kind of weird, right?
No, like would
Oh.
look like her brother.
All right. Well,
Genetics.
Yeah,
Who was that? Which one was that?
Kevin Miller.
Oh, that was Kevin Miller at the time.
Hmm.
yeah, we love using last names. Andy, you want to
Yes.
look them up?
No.
I'm just kidding.
I don't
I'm going
think
to
you
go
can
ahead.
find them.
I'm going to go ahead and put the HIPAA protocol on this entire podcast from
Yeah.
here on out.
So, no, it's okay. And viewers, we also have. If I think I put it on here and I didn't mention it, but Julio's in the chat. He says, "Good evening, everybody." Now, if you have any questions for Amy about Zach or anything, please.
Not like personal, deeply personal questions.
Yeah, something that might throw
About
Green
Zach.
under the bus in a very light-hearted fashion.
He
'cause
might
we,
actually fix the bus while he's under there, so
Yeah.
be careful.
we love Zack Green, so this is a treat
Deeply.
to have this. Now, first about you just a little bit. When you look at Green, you could say, "Yep, absolutely, that's a Detroit guy," right? I mean, he looks like he could be on the street or in a house, right? Sometimes, who knows?
You mean like living in the street?
Now, you guys obviously grew up at the same time. How did you decide to go even into veterinarian? What was how did you get into that field? Because
I think I was drawn to animals, and Zach hates animals, I think, or dislikes them highly, and
I don't
really like
understand the concept of owning an animal.
okay,
I mean, that's
This
nice
is
to look
new-
at.
I think
maybe,
this is
maybe
new to
pet
me.
on a hat.
No.
but that's it.
no.
You
Go
either
ahead.
have the animal gene or you have the no animal gene, and he definitely doesn't have
See-
one. Same with my boys. My boys, one has the animal gene, the other does not.
It's maintenance.
one that
All
is
I
more
see
like
is maintenance.
Him. Yeah.
It's just
Now you know.
I mean,
Wait
it
a second.
is, It is.
This is job security for your sister. Now, maybe it's not nice to say maintenance.
Cleaning
No,
up
no,
the
that's
poop that
fine.
Flies off the cat's ass around here.
Okay.
He
So
really whips the llama's ass.
so
Amy, really quick, was that when you first got your like that love for animals? Like, I want to be a veterinarian. Was that when Sam came around the neighborhood? That stray cat that her neighbor picked
It
up.
was before
and you,
that.
you would
It was
literally
well
go out
before
on the
that.
porch and have breakfast while the cat would be having, whatever it would be
Aw.
eating. You'd sit on your porch with your bowl of cereal and
That's the DVM that you want working for you.
For
That's the
sure.
one that you want to save your animal.
Right.
And then eventually my dad's like, oh, okay, come on, you can bring it inside.
oh
Oh, super
Anyway.
awesome on your dad's part too.
My dad has the animal gene. My mom does not.
okay.
So what you're saying is that this is a genetic component.
I think
To-
so.
That's
Okay.
Yep,
pretty
Sam.
awesome.
So
Actually.
you guys are like genes divided, like parted like the Red Sea.
We are
one leg apiece.
100%.
But Amy is also mechanically inclined. She
I
has
am.
fixed things around the house that nobody would tackle.
Okay.
My husband
Now,
can't do anything around the house.
now hold on a second.
He's not listening to me.
Here he is.
I know.
Now you what was it like growing up? We hear Green talk about the 9 or 8.5 mile or the area. What was it like for you? Your dad's a fireman, and these are things that your brother held in such high regard and he's talked about numerous times. What was it like for you growing up in that area?
I mean, it was mostly a group of same kids like us growing up. Their dads were city workers, and we went to a Catholic school. So, I mean, everybody was very similar, the economic background and everything like that. So it was pretty cool. We had a million houses on one small street, and neighbors got together and had a lot of fun. So it was
Kitchen
a really
parties.
cool experience. Kitchen
All
parties.
the
My
all the
parents would do
adults would have
slammers.
kitchen parties.
See now,
Oh,
Green
yeah, kitchen parties.
Green would just
mhm.
Green's description of all this was more like the scene of RoboCop.
Oh, she's talking about before it really went.
Oh, yeah. And then it got kind of scary. It did, for sure. I remember somebody called my dad one morning and said, there's somebody breaking into your car. And it was the Buick, the big old Buick.
Oh,
and my
yeah.
dad leans out the window and is like, I have a gun to your head. And all I could think of was, I'm the only one home today. Like, someone's going to come back and kill me. Like,
Wow.
or I remember the other time that we were in your Jeep, Zach. And
Oh, I
somebody
can't believe
ran-
you did that. Okay,
ran-
there's the street there's no stop sign all the way for a mile. You can go from 8 mile to 7 mile and you don't have to stop. The streets between stop. And I'm flying down the street and still have my eyes peeled in case a car wants to do it, but it was cool because every cross street there was a little hill, so if you went fast enough, you could get air. So, anyways, we're going. My mom's in the car; she's in the front seat of the Jeep. Amy's in the back seat.
You're bombing over the hills,
right? And this old Impala with 15-inch gold dubs, just almost sideswipe us. And rather than just let it go, what did you do, Amy? The back window.
Oh no! And everybody's watching for that shit.
Yeah,
I've
and then
never
they
seen a
start
car
chasing
back up
us.
so
Didn't they?
fast.
Yes.
All right,
Well,
so
I mean, you
Jeffrey
said-
here says Zach was an animal lover when he was a kid. Him and Amy loved their dog, a German Shepherd. I think his name was Alex. Now, is that
Oh, don't get me wrong. I love
He liked
our-
that
every
dog,
animal we
yeah.
have, but
But did
like-
you also view them as possible food, or did you genuinely love them?
no. I just, like I said, when I seen an animal, they were cool and stuff. They had the really cool moments and stuff. But I always seen the maintenance side of it. Like Alex, when he took a shit in the backyard, most of the time it was fucking juice. So it's not like just with
yeah.
a shovel. It's like, oh, I got to take the hose out today.
That's where you just dig a hole under it and you just kind of sod it. You just flip it over.
No,
Or
don't get me
maybe
wrong.
just kind of
I
Camp
love
it a
all our
little bit.
past animals, and we had a lot of them, and they were
Treat it-
each special in their own way. But I just let's case in point.
okay.
If something happens with Rachel and I'm in this house by myself, I am not going to be getting a pet. Let's just put it that way.
I
But
thought you
I'm
were going
sure
to talk about
everybody else-
if you're going to eat Rachel or not. But
Oh.
okay.
I sometimes think Zach has her around for consumption.
I don't even know where that came from, Andy.
Okay,
Hierarchy of needs.
so you're younger, correct?
Yeah,
Yep. By how many years are you guys?
by 4 years. 4 years.
4 years. Okay. So Green, you were a senior in high school. I should probably be careful saying Green. Zach, you're a senior in high school. You're a freshman, basically, but you guys went to separate Catholic. You went to same-sex places, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
So,
Catholics
but we
don't
were
like to
right
intermingle.
next to each other. So he was at one school and I was right next door. And so we would like mingle with
Okay.
the brother school in the morning and after, school and stuff like that. So
No, that's what you would do, Amy. I was the last one to school and the first one out every fucking day.
Oh.
That's what I appreciate about you, Zack Green.
No, Amy. Yeah, you were in basketball and you were quite popular
into
in
boys.
school.
Yeah. Nah, I'm
You're
probably not
popular with the
but
boys?
I
Green
love the
says that-
boys, yeah.
I love the boys.
That's
I
the
like
problem.
the
She
boys.
always had too many guys coming over the house.
Your brother
Not enough
has.
women.
Would you?
Whatever,
be-
Zach. You liked every one of my female friends that I brought over.
I did, but there was only like a couple outside
What are
of
you
like
talking
most of the
about?
time the guys would like to come over and
Oh,
hang out with
yeah,
you. I'd
you're
like to see more women have come and
Have
gone
what?
throughout the
Have
year.
what? You were going somewhere with that.
Yeah, this is like getting. Green.
I just wish she had more girlfriends come over than
Even
the
today?
guy friends. Huh?
Back
I
in the
can-
day, you didn't have Tinder. You had your sibling that was bringing you around whatever
Sure.
you were chasing.
Right.
Sure.
Green
It was
obviously
much
has some
easier that
resentment
way.
that you didn't fulfill or find him a early
I
mate.
swear, if I can like count on 2 hands how many like at least 10 of them that you crushed on. Maybe not
Right.
10, 5.
Oh,
Remember, Green,
half-
you miss
over
100%
half of them.
the shots you don't take.
Yeah.
Over half
So-
of them.
wait a second. When you're 18, they're like 14 or 15. What's going on, Green?
I don't know, 4 years younger. Were they?
I dated one of Zach's friends that was 5 years older than me.
Oh wow. I hope he
See?
knows that.
Yeah.
Now they do. Again,
know
here's the
that,
HIPAA
Zach.
compliance that I need to just wash my
Oh
hands
yeah,
off.
Mark.
No last names.
No,
Uh-oh.
Tony.
You know,
Totally-
they called him
totally
Tommy.
fucking
They
forgot
called him
about
Tommy
that.
Guns.
You did? Wait, you did?
Zach, I liked him a lot. You remember this. I was really young. He was like
Green?
19.
Green says he remembers getting circumcised, but he can't remember this.
Oh,
I
whatever,
never
right?
said I
thought
remember
you had
getting
the very-
circumcised.
That's fucking hilarious.
I didn't
No,
even know I was
seriously.
circumcised until my 26-year-old girlfriend pointed it out to me.
Okay.
What?
All right.
Where's
Oh
your
my
hood at?
God.
Everybody else that I know's
my
got a
God.
hood. Where's yours at?
Okay. Hold on.
How did this feel so wrong and off course and bad?
Hold on.
Motherfucking
Okay.
everybody else is like a wizard. You're like Telly Savalas. Give me the story.
So
No, this is what I feel sorry for Amy, because normally when there's get-togethers, family get-togethers, and then subjects like this, Amy has the ability to get up and walk away from it.
what?
What
What
do you
does that
mean?
mean?
No, a lot of times when I'm going off on, the last thing about, it was my 26-year-old girlfriend that pointed out to me. You're like, you're like, oh, Jesus Christ, I don't want to hear this. You're able to get up and walk out of the room and do something else. But on the podcast
Maybe.
now, it's like you have to listen to all this stuff.
It's called being
happens
on
that-
being on the spot.
Wait a
Probably
second.
right.
Green, is there things that you really just want to say that you just never have? Is that what you're trying to say?
God.
Oh no, this
Yeah, I
isn't
got-
a
I got-
session.
Ward is like the younger brother that I thank God I never had.
Oh,
Hey,
Thank you.
Zack Green, what am I to
No,
you?
you're always just
oh, come on.
relentlessly just.
That's why he
just-
gets in altercations, probably, right?
Yeah, dude, I would bring my guy friends around for you if I had them. If we were,
For Green or for
Yeah.
Amy?
Yeah, which one?
I mean, I think one of them's both of
For
them's
both.
married.
I think it would help both.
This isn't the fucking dating game, Jack Ward.
All right, so we have a couple questions that everyone's been burning to know the answer to.
Like,
Made 'em
like
up.
needing antibiotics.
Ward made him up.
Let me just see. Hold on. Let me get this next picture up. What is this? Oh, here we go.
Is
I
it
love
the,
that picture.
This is probably Zach, though, right?
Yeah.
Because I found these pictures on both of you guys' Facebook.
Now, they
page.
left Amy on the floor, I guess.
No, that was a long before
That
Amy.
was before me.
Now, Green, when you were the only child, did you get upset when you had a sister come into the picture? Like you were probably the golden kid.
Yeah,
Did you even remember?
Throwing batteries,
No, I do
throwing
remember. I do
batteries.
remember. My grandma came over to watch me. She brought a little like a Hot Wheel of a motorcycle or something for me, and I know my parents explained where they were going and what was going on. I was just like, oh, okay, whatever, through one ear and out the other. And then I remember them coming back like the next day or something, and they brought this like, what, who is this? But I mean, it was kind of like, oh, this is weird. Okay. But no, it was all right. I mean, it's no different than any other sibling. I mean,
That's so cool that you remember that, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Zach,
since
don't you remember that the neighbor brought over something for me, and I don't know what, and you
something
threw
they
it on
brought
the
you a
porch,
present or something, or
and
yeah,
you
some
threw it
type
on the
of gift,
porch because you didn't
something
get
like that.
anything.
Oh.
So I don't remember that, but I remember people telling
Selective
me about
memory.
that.
All right. Okay.
But, no, I mean it was.
Yeah,
it was-
I'm backing away from that.
All right.
That's
So
What?
here's one thing I definitely wanted to bring up because, and this is a good thing, I think. Your brother has such a reverence for your father as a mentor, a hero. He's talked about, the basement workshop, could fix anything, every good thing you possibly have in a father. He's basically said your dad was. In fact, here's a nice picture with this fireman's hat on, right?
that was the evening that he graduated from the academy.
that's awesome. That's that's
And how old are you,
fucking
Zach?
fantastic.
I just came down the
chute?
the chute.
The canal?
Yeah, the canal.
Just dropping down the birth canal, and my
I
dad's
know, like
graduating
my
from
dad's
the academy.
My dad's instructors were pissed because he had to miss one of the last days of the academy, and one of the instructors were pissed, and my dad's like, "Hey, I gotta go." So yeah, I was
Good-
just freshly
you know what?
minted.
Good on your dad, you guys.
Yeah, the question is, your brother holds your dad in extreme reverence. What was your experience with your parents and your father? You know, being basically a person that works in the community and does good work.
I mean, he's always been my hero because of what he did and how he sacrificed his life to help others, for sure. He was a great boss to the guys that he worked with. You know, I mean, it was not 100% easy because a lot of those firefighters and cops actually were alcoholics. And so, you know, I have a lot of that in my background. And so Zach probably doesn't talk about that. It was a little bit difficult, but, you know, looking back, I totally love my dad and I am who I am because of what he's instilled in us. And, you know, so it's hard for me to talk bad about him, but, you know, I remember some really, really hard times.
But
That
he
Zach
ran a
probably does
tight-
not
the
talk about.
overarching-
I don't. He ran a tight ship.
But the overarching
did.
thing is that you can
and-
look back and say that
Yeah,
Dad did good.
I mean,
he
and
did.
he
He
was
did the
never, he
best
was
that he
never,
could do for what he had.
never abusive, but he could, like, you guys hear me fucking yell on this podcast. He could fucking
He would
yell.
yell.
And when he
He
would
would
yell,
yell.
I would
Yeah.
not want to hear it.
The thing that a
Right.
lot of people that a lot of people our age, 40s, etc., don't realize is that parenting changes.
Oh yeah, it
It
alters.
always
It
changes.
morphs.
It
Oh, yeah,
always
100%.
morphs. There's people that are listening to something like you're gonna like a diet. This diet's good. Well, this diet's better. Well, this diet's good. Well, this parenting style is good. This parenting style is better. So we have to go back and sit in those years and what was happening at those times, what was popular, what was important, and we have to base our parents off of that stuff, which is a little bit difficult because as I'm sure, because
Using a curve, give it a curve.
yeah, kind of give them a little bit of slack.
Like mom smoked.
Oh,
when
for
I was-
sure, he did well.
Yeah, mom smoked. Yeah, mom smoked around me. My mom smoked something called Nows. They were like menthols. She smoked around me. It doesn't matter because back in the day that was status quo. That's what people did.
Right.
I can't look at the same way that somebody now, like if I see like somebody smoking around their infant child, I'm like, what the hell are you doing? The same as somebody that's putting gas in their car that's smoking a cigarette. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? No,
Yeah.
because times have changed. People adapt. People go to these advanced places. So yes, you have to go back and
I don't think you really need to spank anymore. Like I don't
No.
spank my kids.
no, I don't either.
You know,
No.
Green's like I would be spanking everything if I had kids.
Oh
No,
my God, put fat on your ass.
Whoa! I'm sorry. As a counselor and a therapist, I'm a mandated reporter. Whose ass have you spanked recently?
yeah.
Tell me all the details.
I thought it was for making children, not punishing them.
I haven't spanked anybody.
Okay.
Ever.
All right.
What
Well,
about
that's
spanking the
weird.
monkey?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, see, man, it just goes south. It just,
See, now we have a vet here that
goes
she's going
south.
to ASPCA me. She's going to say, "Oh, this guy was spanking the monkey. I got to
Well,
turn him in."
from a veterinarian, she might actually think a monkey. You know, I don't know. So you Green was saying too. You started your own practice. So you've got your own kind of. What's the actual veterinary? I know we're kind of jumping around topics. I guess it's bad, but what's the veterinarian life like? Is it full of regulation? Andy's dad was a dentist, and from the time that Andy even
The same
witnessed his father to the day he retired, there's a big morph of what dentistry is with insurance and this or that. Is that the same in the
Right.
veterinarian?
Well,
Yeah,
veterinary
no,
medicine
no.
didn't. Yeah.
We don't. I mean, like, there's insurance companies and stuff like that, but we don't have a lot of that at this point in time. So it's just
They're not
it's-
dropping care credit on you every 5 seconds and
I
saying
know. I
you need
mean,
to get
you
this.
can do care credit, but it's not. Or there's no insurance that needs to be done. Only some people partake in that, and they have to deal with that end.
Mhm.
I only sign off on it. That's it. So I don't deal with the billing. But I mean, it's busy. It's crazy busy. I sometimes don't have time to go to the bathroom or eat my lunch, and
That sounds like
hectic,
somebody I
and
know.
people are mad. And so I mean, it's fun, but it's also stressful.
So when you get somebody, I know that in a lot of professions, dentistry is part of the reason why my father got out of dentistry, why he retired finally, was because you have to push services on people. And he owned his own practice. And then when he sold his practice before he retired, they started telling my father, who's in his 70s, you have to start pushing these things on them. And he would say, why am I pushing this on them when they don't need it? Is it the same in veterinary medicine, or do you have, because you own your own practice, are you setting up the borderline and saying, I'm done, I'm not doing this kind of stuff no matter what?
No, I just do what I think that needs to be done, and I'm not going to recommend anything that I don't. And I mean, people have huge pockets for their animals. They will spend,
Of course,
pretty much any amount of money. And so if I recommend it and I'm not, I'm pretty honest about it, they're going to do what usually I recommend. And if they don't want to do it, they'd say, I can't do that, or I can't afford it, or whatever. And we try to find be for them to do instead of the gold standard.
Is there, and a lot of animal owners are afraid of this, and maybe you don't have to answer this if it's not comfortable. Is there judgment if somebody brings their dog in, or cat, or whatever it is, and it's got a terminal illness, and you're like, well, I could either do this, or it's going to cost like this amount of money to save it, or possibly save it, and they say, nah, just get rid of it. Is there any judgment there?
So that happens a lot with cats. Well, it happens a lot with cats that urinate outside the litter box. The number one reason for euthanasia and those, or for death in those cats, is euthanasia. I mean, we euthanize a lot of cats that inappropriately urinate because we can't fix it. And so there's no judgment there, because you can't. It makes the whole house unhappy, and you try to do.
You can't get it out.
Try to do what
Can't get it out.
you can, right? So we.
Everything smells like, the whole neighborhood smells like cat piss now.
I know, right? You can't get that out of there. So
well, no, and
there's no shame in that.
Okay, because I wondered about that. I had taken an animal to a vet, and they had said, well, we can keep him around as long as you want. And then he got really bad, and I said, so I'm going to bring him somewhere else. And I brought him somewhere else, and I got a second opinion, and he said, yeah, I can keep him around as long as you want. And this stuck with me. He said, but am I keeping him around for him, or am I keeping him around for you?
Right.
And that seriously cut right to my core. And I was like, well, it would be for me. So you probably should put him down because he's miserable.
And we have that talk all the time. Like, this is not about you guys. It's about the animal. But there's hospice veterinarians out there at this point, which is kind of different, and it's not my viewpoints, but
it sounds ridiculous.
It is.
Now, your brother claims that he's going to be alive till he's about 127. Is that the right number?
I'm going to 124th birth.
124. Okay. Sorry. And I've often, and almost every week, tell him that I'm going to be there for him to change his diaper and things like that. I'm going to hold your hand, boo.
You're going to die before I am.
Now, you're in the medical.
He's going to be snorting your ashes.
Yeah, you're in the medical field. Your brother, has he always held this belief of living to 124?
Maybe not 124. I thought it was just over 100, but
does it keep
apparently
I'm seeing 124.
Oh, fuck, he's escalating.
No, I'm seeing 124.
This is going to be 210
Zach,
years old.
Are you going to be?
That was before COVID.
This is the point in time that I talk about euthanasia. Zach, do you want
definitely.
to?
This is where.
You're right. You're right. It's quality of life. No, and the reason I am going to live to 124 because I'm going to have good quality of life.
Is Amy at 120 years old going to have to pull your plug?
No, I tell you what. If something happened to where
well before that,
like that. Like that one girl, she had some type of issue, like brain tumor or something, and not curable, and it was a slow death. She went to a state to where, she was
euthanasia
able to
is possible.
Euthanasia, right? And a lot of people are putting her down. She says, "Listen, this is the last thing I want to do. If there was any type of cure, any type of help, I would take it in a heartbeat. But this is a slow burn down to hell. I want to go out with my dignity, and I want to go out and say bye to everybody and And that's what I would do if something happened to me and there was no option whatsoever, and I was just gonna just fizzle down to a crisp burnt raisin.
Well, you're
with
halfway
no
there.
mindset. It's like, yeah, take me out, man.
I'm in agreement with you, Zack Green.
Well, first of all, Zach, we would be making that decision. Number one.
No, don't worry. It's all this stuff is already written down. It's all legalized.
Zach, am I in your will? Well,
Shit.
This is what I want to know now. I mean, since you have no one, would I be in your will?
Do you really want to acquire his?
Do you see the guitars over his left shoulder?
What are you getting yourself into? that's
Sell it
gonna be.
all. No.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. When I do live a long life and I know the end is coming, I'm gonna start either selling this stuff or giving it away. And just blowing the money.
Everybody that matters is going to be dead if you're 124 years old.
Yeah, but I'm going to be giving it away to the generation of tomorrow.
The Pepsi generation.
The kids, sure.
Now,
yeah, imagine that. I guess I'm going to smoke some pot then.
Oh Jesus,
Amy, if there's anything you want right now, you just let me know.
I can look. Hang on.
You can't take it all.
Pinball machine.
I already told you you could have one.
How about the hot tub?
Amy, can you
take
confirm?
The hot tub too.
Amy, can you confirm or deny
that?
Hot
tub date, Amy.
Can you confirm or deny that your brother is digging a fallout shelter underneath his house?
That was the best answer ever. There's nervous laughter.
If he has one.
Is he currently, or does he digging a fallout?
Started something already somewhat existing. So I don't have.
Would it put you past? Would it?
He probably has a panic room too.
He's in his panic room always.
Oh, okay.
Wait, I'm sorry. What is a panic room again?
Well, it's
a place where you're safe.
Usually, it's a room that has a
not
lock.
Like one of those safety rooms.
It's not padded. And there's,
you still might need a safe word to get in.
I know, right?
All right.
Gazebo. Let me in, gazebo.
All right. We've got a question from YouTube, from Michael here. Since you have a doctorate in vet meds, pets, for the most part, probably won't get COVID, ? Now, I heard that pets do carry COVID. Is that true?
They carry it more so than get it. When I had COVID very bad, I think my cats were sneezing a little bit. So they carry it in their nostrils. And so can they transmit it to other people? We don't know that answer, but they can carry it. But I haven't really tested heavily for it because it really doesn't, they don't really get sick from it.
So we have our first
Hopefully
question from Twitch, because we are not even, or comments since Twitch, because we don't even dive into this place. But
we're imbeciles, though.
Thank you for that. Jesus. Thanks for coming on. And you were quite correct in saying this is why Plato is against democracy. I dig
What's
that.
up?
That's awesome.
I love Plato's Republic.
That's pretty funny. Okay, so animals. Now, see, I heard that one of the reasons why COVID isn't truly going to go away was specifically because animals can carry. In other words, like the measles and things like that, animals could not carry that on. Therefore, it was easier to handle, whereas COVID can be transmitted from different types of animals, not limited to just dogs or cats. Is that?
So most of the time, viruses are species specific. So they don't cross human animal lines. They're their own species unless they mutate. And then once they mutate, it can get into that species. COVID can only be, they find it in the nasal cavity and the throat of animals, but we don't know if they can actually transmit it. They don't get it themselves usually. I mean, granted, some have gotten it probably because it's mutated, but animals have a coronavirus. The common cold is a coronavirus. So we've always had coronavirus around, but this is a different strain of coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
I don't.
That's what I understand too. Yes, I wouldn't listen to anybody on Twitch about that either.
Well, but Green here. Now, would you ever advise or tell your brother that he doesn't have to get a COVID shot vaccination, or would you say that he probably should?
So the thing is, we had this thing. So we had this thing. I was, it's a little nerving that the government is making us get a vaccine. There's a lot of things that are hidden about women that get it, that are pregnant, and they lose their babies at X amount of weeks. That's not being told to the public like it should. So it's kind of concerning. I think there's a lot of side effects. And Zach, I did get my COVID vaccine. Do you want to hear about this?
Yes, please.
Yes.
So I felt pressured because I felt like more people, if you got the COVID vaccine, you're going to be less likely to get in the hospital. And since I was very sick last time with COVID and felt like my antibodies weren't there
You
anymore,
got it once, right? Or did you get it twice?
No, I got
once?
twice. So I got
Twice,
the
okay.
first, and I decided on Pfizer because it's the lowest amount of coronavirus or whatever. And I did it. And then 2 weeks later, or what is it, 3 weeks later or whatever, I got the second one. 2 weeks after that, I started getting these crazy, and I thought I was weeding outside. I thought I got like poison ivy or something like that. They were all on my trunk. Come to find out, it's a virus, like a herpes virus 6 or 7. That's an upper respiratory that comes out again. And then I got sick. So I got sick with a different cold, and I got these crazy patches that itched like heck, that were on me for like 6 weeks. So yeah, crazy crap happens. So don't get the COVID vaccine, Zach.
So for our
Chance it.
person in Twitch, they're saying where could
Why do
they
you
find
think I'm building that fucking
where can they
fallout
find
shelter?
a study that suggests that or demonstrates that animals carry COVID?
Yeah, Amy.
So they don't- so
while
not
you're on a
all
while you're on a
animals. Hold on,
podcast, though.
Andy, quit being.
Hang on. While you're on a podcast, I want you to empirically cite something at 9:30 at night. Could you go ahead and just look that
Well,
shit up and
look
make
at
sure it's
people's
APA?
If they
Because
want it, they don't carry it. Not all animals carry it, but we found by testing that some have it in their nasal passages, but they can't determine if it's actually then transmitted to other people by them
Or
carrying it in their nasal passages.
Yeah, I know the
But
Toledo Zoo.
it's documented. It's in JAVMA. JAVMA has something in there. So if you want to look at JAVMA, if you know what that is, then go ahead and look
See,
at it, because there
that's
is
what I'm talking about.
stuff on
Perfect.
there.
And I know that the Toledo Zoo here in town, which is an amazing zoo, has documented cases with different animals that they did in fact do that.
The Lincoln Park Zoo too. I mean, there's a couple tigers that got it.
Right.
And
Yep,
we think
I
it's
believe
more feline related. So the cat species are more likely to get it or carry it. But again, we don't know if they can transmit it to us once they had it in their nasal passages.
And let's face it, the zoo's littered, no pun intended, with tons of kids, blowing their disease that Green loves to have all over the place. And zoos are probably,
Dude, I'm fine. I don't get sick
all about
too
that.
much.
Deer
Deer.
are supposed to get it from us. Any of the monkeys and apes can get it from us. So there's lots of animals that can potentially get it from us. I don't think they get as sick as us, but
it's all about host response. That's
Yeah, it
what
is.
it goes back to, is that if you are a human, if you're an animal, I can cough in my dog's face a million times. She's right there with a cold. She's probably not going to get it. And
because
she can walk up.
it's species specific. It's a
It's-
virus.
It is something that the host is going to either get, not get, or get something. You could have a runny nose. She could sneeze in my face and I could get a runny nose for a day. It could be something that kind of affects me, that my immune system just says, you know what, fuck off. I'm done. I'm going to just take care of this really quick. And otherwise not. Am I, as the doctor in the room, am I correct?
Yeah, I mean, most of the time we're not going to get their stuff because it's species specific. So their viruses, unless they mutate, will not come to us, and vice versa. So we don't have to worry about that usually, unless it's
and
bacterial.
just to close the Twitch on vaccinations, and it's just proven that vaccinations prevent things from getting worse on a larger scale. Of course, there's always going to be some exceptions, but vaccinations, I encourage everybody to get vaccinated. I think I'm looking forward to getting my booster vaccination because I'm around a lot of people playing music. So, and that's my,
I did it for my safety,
being a
right.
libertarian, You should be able to choose if you want to get one or not.
If
I
the
agree.
fucking libertarian is getting his vaccination, it should make you think a little bit.
Well, I mean, I'm not the stupid.
I'm the fucking loony liberal in the
You
room.
know-
Of course, I got my vaccination.
But hey,
I got. You know, I know somebody
It's
in the
going to
business.
protect yourself.
I got
it's
the
not
5th
necessarily
booster shot, so
protecting
I'm
other
good.
people.
So one of the things that when you start to get to know Green, at least at work, is that he sometimes when he gets frustrated, he performs cardiac arrest. And is he done? You know what I'm talking about? Where he
Oh,
starts.
good. I'm glad this is. I'm glad this is a common thing. It's like
Yeah.
Sanford and Son.
Yeah, you know what I'm
like
talking
that.
about, Amy. Though. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yes, I
different
know.
than
It's
different than old
classic. Is it 'cause
Sanford, though.
It
I
is.
didn't know he does that around you guys.
Oh,
my
I
God.
fell at work all the time, knocking over like stuff, and I'm laying on the floor at work and stuff.
That's why I started talking to him. Is when it was just me and him in the office one time.
And
'Cause
Andy
it
almost
was
came
just-
mouth to mouth.
Almost. I just
Amy,
hear this
where could
yelling. I hear this ripping solo, and I'm like, that was thinking to myself, that was fucking awesome because I didn't want to talk to Zach because I didn't know if he would like me. And then he started screaming, and I was like, oh, this dude's cool. It's fine.
Why was I screaming?
I don't know.
Do you even know Green?
You thought he was
no,
unapproachable?
Oh yeah.
Why did you think he was unapproachable?
Because I had been playing the guitars that he had worked on for a long time, so I had a reverence for him when I didn't know him. Like, this
Oh.
is the dude that makes me sound like I know what I'm doing when I'm playing guitar. That's what I put it as.
So
Even
where
though
did-
I didn't know how to set up guitar, I
He's
barely
kind.
knew how to tune a guitar, and this guy gets me a guitar and I bring it home and I plug it in immediately, literally out of the car, walked in, plugged it into my amp, and I was like, I know what I'm doing. Holy crap, this dude's magic.
he sells
And that
lies,
stuck with me.
Green.
And it stuck with me.
I have
That
a
is true.
question though,
Beautiful.
really quick. Like if I rip this awesome guitar solo,
Yeah.
like why would I scream at? Like was it screaming of like frustration and
My dude,
frustration
this
and
was
stuff?
probably over the course of one day.
Oh,
this is
okay, so
20
this was like
this is 20 fucking
unrelated.
11.
Okay, we got to get the question answered though. Where does this cardiac arrest thing come from? You've witnessed your brother have these attacks all the time.
Episodes.
Where's this stem from?
There's a lot of things that I cannot answer about Zach at all.
That's
He
one of them.
is like an enigma. I have no idea.
Oh, that's a compliment.
I
That's
have
a
no
compliment.
idea.
When
Yeah,
you
I
see
mean,
when you see this picture, what
Oh,
goes
no.
through your head?
Is he doing the floss?
One of two things. One of two things. He's either faking it or he might be drunk and passed out. I don't know.
Hey Brian, you remember that one, eh?
Brian,
A little bit of
Brian,
both. I was posing for the camera, but was also had
Putting
a
it
couple
out there.
pops in me, and that's a bag of White Castles.
that looks like
I knew it was.
Green. This is the first time I'd like your butt actually looks pretty good over here. Are you popping and
Okay,
locking?
You
No, I
actually
got
have
I
a
got
butt in that
great-
picture.
I got a great butt, man.
Is that were you doing that for just Brian, or is
No,
there
I
maybe a
just-
girl there?
just got a-
Your shit's
got
like a
great butt.
plateau. You got a flat ass.
Who does? Me?
All right. So another picture, just to get your thoughts on your brother. What makes you? What's this?
He's so funny. His comic relief is so funny. Or when he starts dancing, have you ever seen that yet? Out of nowhere?
I don't Green.
Out of nowhere?
Remember,
Where
I
else
think
does
we
it
were in
come from?
Frankenmuth and you just started.
Oh, right. Yeah. I got up
I mean,
in
you
like
just
a
do this
windowsill
little-
that almost looked like a stage, and I
Yeah.
started dancing.
You can pop
You
and
do
lock.
some really weird things.
What's your obsession with him popping and locking? Do you want to see him pop that booty?
What is that? The Jesus guys that doing the popping and locking? Is that?
Jesus
Because
Christ.
I'm not hip enough or young enough to know what popping and locking is. But is
Well,
that
Brian-
like dubstep?
Pop your hips.
Brian says I took that.
Oh, that picture. Brian took that picture. Okay.
I think Brian had your butt in his best interest in that photograph, and he got your best side, sunny side up, right?
I don't know, man.
Julio
would-
says every Reverend guitar is infused with Green's riffs. Yeah, just
It's
about
true.
everyone. 1/3 of them at
Well,
least.
Zach,
If
I
it
didn't
was
know you were so
before-
popular.
15,000?
Oh my God, he
It's
is.
just they're lying.
If
Are you kidding?
it-
This dude? No,
He's
no,
like,
no,
is he
no.
like God? A God
Yes.
with guitar?
No,
He's
I
a
don't know what I'm
he's a
doing.
demigod.
No, there's at least
Oh no! You don't know this about your
there's
brother.
at least a couple guitar players at work that
No.
fucking way better than me.
If we took Green to our guitar convention that we go to,
It would be horrible.
they would be lining up to talk to this dude.
Yeah, we had like
Not even
1,500
joking.
people for Billy Corgan. We would have shut down the NAMM Hall if he would have
Well,
been there.
I'm not. You're being facetious. I'm not. I mean, people would. There's people that ask to make sure that he actually sets up the guitar. I mean, it's
I've been
impressive.
there.
Is that because of
Dang,
my
awesome.
new jazz that I'm creating? That new style of jazz?
Is it called Jizz?
actually.
Oh,
Wait a second. What's isn't
name
that the
taken.
Star
What?
Wars?
Yeah, the Star Wars music is called Jizz.
Yeah, that's
Is
literally
it really?
Yeah,
The Cantina song, the
the guy that invented that. They had to
No,
come
it
up
was
with.
not.
Oh, that was
Really?
before.
This is before
you can
Jizz.
Wikipedia.
That's before
No, it's
the slang version of.
correct.
Yeah, it
That's
wasn't
a great way to
slang.
put it.
Yeah, it wasn't a slang.
Great way to
version
put it. But for the most part, jizzing wasn't the same in 1977 as it is in
Was
20
that the band Mecca? MECCO or something?
I don't remember.
in Star Wars, it was Figrin Dian and the Modal
Oh,
Nodes.
I'm talking the
Yeah.
actual band that recorded that. Cantina
Ooh, you're
band
deep.
music.
I
I
don't
think it
know.
might be Mecca.
I only
not
have one
sure.
more photograph, so I think we've showed this one before, if I'm not mistaken. But maybe Amy can give us a how did this picture come up to? How did this picture come to be? Here we go.
Oh, that's adorable.
Who
Fucking
made this
adorable.
happen?
What talk about a glow
Zach,
up?
of course.
Did you, Green?
And Zach looks the same. That's
Yeah,
the
he-
crazy part.
And what golf course are you guys hanging out at?
No, we were at the Novi Hilton Hotel.
Oh, okay.
And
the one
No,
on the left was and the one on the right was what Soaring Eagle Casino. But anyway,
So-
the one on the left, the Soaring Eagle. No, I'm sorry. The Hilton. It was 1986. It was my first guitar competition that the place I took lessons involved me in. And my main guitar I only had two guitars back then. That was my main guitar that I saved up all my birthday and Christmas money for a couple years and bought at the local music store I walked up to. And I sold it to get my something better when I got, when I progressed in guitar lessons. I wanted to get a better guitar. So I traded that one in, and I regret trading that guitar. And I've been searching for it ever since. So in the meantime, I thought, you know what? I'll just build one, a reproduction of it. So when I did and got done with it, and we were heading up to Soaring Eagle, and Amy was going to be there. I'm like, Amy, let's take this picture with the guitar I just built in honor of my old guitar.
And what's the trophy in the background? That's
Yeah,
That's the same trophy. That was the first division that I played that weekend. I think that it might have been on a Saturday morning, but it had to do with like your age and how long you've been playing. And
You were in
you
a
got
bracket,
rated.
yeah.
You got rated. You got a trophy. It was either A, double A, or triple A. And that was a triple A trip.
That's actually a quadruple A. The other A is on the other side.
Huh. All right. And Amy, did you get to see Zach perform music with bands and his friends and stuff like that at all, or were you just
So-
like?
Yeah, no, for sure. One of my favorite times was when what did you play that one time? It wasn't, or was it against someone that played Flight of the
it was the
Bumblebee?
last guitar competition I did. I did a
It was
a medley.
amazing.
It was I opened it. What is it? I started out with the opening to "Women in Love" by Van Halen off Van Halen 2, and then I went into the opening to "Little Guitars" off Diver Down, and then I went into the entire song of Diver Down, and then I went back to the main riff in "Women in Love." And so it's a hodgepodge of a couple different Van Halen songs.
It was amazing.
They called it a
And-
medley.
So the
And-
guy that was against him was doing Flight of the Bumblebee, and he did a great job. But he listened to Zach, and I think 3/4 of the way through, he got up and he was like, because he knew he lost. I mean, he was like,
It is
and
Without a
that was
doubt.
pretty impressive.
anybody at work will say Green's the best guitar player He'll deny it.
Anybody.
See, I wanted him to go out for Red Hot Chili Peppers when they were looking for a guitarist way back in the day, but he didn't want to because he didn't want to wear a sock on his penis. That's what he said.
They only did that like okay, well, there's like a tour that they did that, but whatever.
But that was back then. Now I would now.
I know.
Anthony Kiedis, get at Zack Green.
Now, Chad
Next
Smith,
time one of those asshole guitar players decides to leave.
they just switched. Yeah, but Green, Chad Smith is a Detroit
No, I know.
drummer.
He is.
And
was
he used to
looking
eat-
in Detroit.
And my friend, the guy that posted those pictures of the GTs, I bought a couple off of him. His dad owned a restaurant, and he used to eat in his dad's restaurant quite often.
There you have it.
It's straight from the Green's mouth.
Chad Smith, that is the drummer.
Yeah. So this has been fun. I don't care what you say.
No,
Yeah.
there's absolutely no denying it. Even Twitch guys got to admit that it's fun, even though it's absolute nonsense.
You know,
Everybody's brutal.
so Green
I
never
wouldn't
like,
want it any other
Zach
way.
doesn't like to
all the time.
take any type of praise or compliments or anything, accolades. But he does like to smile about it when he starts, shaking
when
it
he
off.
starts gushing, you know it's true. He just doesn't want to talk about it.
I can get him to say that he loves me if he has a few beers in him, but if he's sober, he will fight it to the end.
Yeah, he won't touch me unless he's had a couple in him, and then I get a hug. He might lick up the side of my
Does
face
he ever do
and then
this
scream.
with his hands when he gets
Oh,
drunk?
when I'm
It depends on what part
when
you're
I'm
talking about that he does that to.
No, he
No,
just
when I'm
does it for the air.
talking.
He's
I
talking.
talk
He's
with my
like,
hands.
No,
Yeah.
it's just weird.
I don't think that's an
when he gets
Italian thing
drunk.
either. I think that's just a Detroit thing.
I don't know.
All right, we have a question from Michael from YouTube. Says, in vet school, did they teach you the castration method of removing an animal's testicles? All right. I'm assuming
So-
that would be yes.
Are you talking about a scrotal ablation? Because you can remove the sac and everything, or we just remove the actual testicles? Yeah, they taught us that.
Oh, if you're gonna get,
It's called a ballectomy.
if
No, I
if
know
you're
it's
gonna
not.
get,
Castration. Castration. And then the other one's a scrotal ablation where you remove everything.
That's
Sac
got to be
and all.
uncomfortable for
Oh, yeah.
for anything.
I have
Right.
one last question, Andy. If you have a last question, you can too. And Green, if you even you probably don't.
No, I've been enwrapped the entire time. I want to
Me
thank you
too.
personally. In case
This
I
is
don't get a chance to say it, Amy, you're welcome back on the show anytime. This has been.
Thanks.
I've had a very long, very rough day. This is my highlight.
Heck yeah. So
Literally, this is my
my
highlight.
question to you is there Green's like, oh, here it comes. Is there anything or something that happened that your brother did or whatnot to you that you have forgiven him, but you have not forgotten? Is there that one that he tear up your diary? Was there something like the story that
I hit my brother
I mean-
with a D battery in a tube sock once. So, not kidding. That was his best man speech at my wedding. One time, my brother put a D battery and tried to commit fratricide on me. What the fuck, dude?
I mean, he's a great brother. I think the only thing is I do remember him trying to drag me down the stairs by my hair one time, but I probably deserved it, honestly.
What could you have done to have deserved
Oh,
the downstairs drag?
yeah.
I think they call that Dragula.
I don't know. I'm sure.
Was
something
it
bad.
my upstairs bedroom with the carpeted stairs, or was
No.
it the downstairs with the uncarpeted?
Downstairs?
Was
Oh,
it
really?
oddly
Jesus,
specific?
Green?
Yeah.
Because that's oddly specific.
I vaguely remember that, and I was really
I don't
pissed
remember
about
why.
something.
I'm sure I was like, yeah, saying something to you.
But see,
and
but
being
here's
really
the thing,
mean.
and I think Amy can attest to this. Like, it takes a lot to set me off. You can
Oh.
jab a little bit, and but it gets to the point where it's just like, and
It's like a bomb.
obviously something happened, and I'm sure there was other surrounding factors happening at the time to where I just lost it.
Yeah.
So,
That's
Amy,
fine.
I'm sorry if I've never apologized. I am sorry.
This is
fine.
progress, motherfuckers. This is
No,
progress.
No, I've always
I'm
apologized.
sure I deserved
Amy.
it.
I've always apologized.
Yeah,
Wow.
we had
And I
a
think that's
great.
it. I think
I think.
I'm
well,
sorry. I deserved it is a really good
Yeah, but you can't like.
But
You can't,
but
no, you can't say that
we
to
knew
your
how to push
abuser,
each other's
Andy.
buttons. Like I told this story before.
when it comes to siblings.
You know how to push the buttons. This one time, your bedroom was like on the main floor, and my upstairs bedroom was stairs were too far away. And I came up from the basement. I was working on something. My toolbox, for whatever reason, was on my step. So I needed to get a screwdriver or something. I opened up the toolbox, and then all of a sudden, like, Zach, I'm trying to sleep. Like, and I was just like,
Now, do you yell like
no,
that?
in my
Amy?
mind, like, I didn't think I made that much sound. So I waited a little bit, fall back to sleep, and then I did a little rattle, a little more rattle. See how much it took to wake you up again to make you yell. And then it became
That's the
a
most
game back and
passive aggressive
forth.
shit I've ever heard in my life.
But that's
He
the thing
kinda
with
is
siblings.
like
Like if you
that.
would have just the initial time, just like, oh, fucking Zach, and just let it go, I would have been on my way back into the basement, and but it was the fact that you just like, oh, this pissed her off. Well, I think I'm gonna do it more. I mean,
Well,
it got
thank you
so
for
bad to the
that.
point where
Thanks.
like my dad had to wake up and yell at both of us.
It sounds like something like when you start to pick at a safe and then you hear one of the tumblers go, you're like, oh,
But I
that's the
didn't do
first
it out
thing
of
I can
hate.
do.
I didn't do it out of hate or malice, or I just did it out of fun and
Pain
just
in the ass.
Most teenage boys were, getting their magazines out when everyone was sleeping. Not Green. He just dove right into
I
the
was working on
toolbox.
shit, man. I was working on shit.
Andy, do you have anything? We've pretty
You're
much
talking about digging around in the toolbox. I am just
Oh,
really,
jeez.
really
This is amazing.
excited to get. Yeah, honestly,
And Greg said
as I
it, my sister's next. I'll try to get her on. She's a
going into learning about somebody, how
Yeah.
often do you get to because both the Zacks are like some of the greatest people, if not in the top 2 of the greatest people that I know. But hearing another side of them,
Green's a lot.
hearing
softer
that,
than he
hearing the stuff
presents
that's not, it wasn't embarrassing. It's not like we were roasting Zack Green or anything like that. We were just hearing about the truth. It's not being facetious. It's not being we're not overarching anything. We're just saying this is a different side that we don't get to hear about him. Any chance I get to hear about a more detailed side of somebody,
Yeah,
what a fucking experience.
it's heartwarming.
What a great thing. And it's very awesome of you to be on here. And it's very awesome of Green to just deal with our bullshit. I know
Yeah.
he's shaking his head. He
No, I
lives
don't-
right
I
around the
don't
corner
mind.
from me. I'm going to hear
I
a
don't
weird
care.
tapping at
No.
my window.
Nah.
Julio says Amy has confirmed something I believe since day one. Zach rocks. There it
He
is.
does. He for sure is a great.
One of these
brother.
days, he's going to come to my studio and hang out and just play music with me. One of these days.
Who, Amy? Amy, do you play an instrument or did you just?
That's a good question.
I am very. Yeah.
She plays the
talented.
Labrador.
Yeah, I'm just not talented like that.
She plays the Hemingway, the Labrador.
I tried
the
to do
drummer.
drums. Remember?
Yeah, she was a drummer in one of her early childhood bands, but that didn't last too long.
What was the
But
band
you had a
name?
childhood band?
I don't know. I don't know. The band. I think it changed names like every 2 days, but I think for the most part it was like some weird cartoon drawing my uncle Tom did. He was pretty good at drawing, and he drew this like cartoon picture of a band, and for some reason he named the band Shelter. So I always went with the name Shelter. So it might have been Shelter or some version of it. But like I said, we were always changing name. And everybody that grew up on the block with us, all the kids, because we were within 4, maybe at the most 5 years age difference, everybody was in the band at one point or another.
Awesome.
It didn't matter what you knew or
Okay,
everybody
I
was
lied.
in the band.
I have one last question. Andy and I we have kids. Andy's got 3, I got 4. Green has always been like this kids maintenance thing, much like the animals, I believe. But in your honest opinion, being so close to him and knowing him for so long, would Zack Green in fact be an amazing father, or should he in
I
fact
think he's a wonderful uncle, especially when they're little. He can really relate to kids.
I don't even.
I think it
You're
was a
giving
good
me a lot
decision,
on that.
though. I think it was a good decision that he did not have children, though.
He's better off his uncle then.
But
You know what? I like that. I like that.
Could you
But-
imagine like the whole family gets in a fight and they all have cardiac arrests out at the same time? That
Uncle Zach.
But let me just say that Rachel and I tried to have kids for a period
yeah.
of time, and the universe decided that no, not going to happen.
The universe decided that you are going to be a tinkerer of all things.
Mhm.
Right? It was funny at the time. People said, "Well, you can still adopt," and both Rachel and Nat, like, at the same time, said, "No, we don't like kids that much."
I want to make my own. Thank you very much. I don't want to rent
No,
one.
it was something actually about having an actual like a part of Rachel and a part of me, and also we wanted to try because I grew up. No, I didn't grow up, but my first house was next to this old lady. That one of her big regrets in her life was that she didn't at least try to have kids. And
Oh, I didn't know
Ooh.
that.
she held that regret until the day she died.
Who was that?
And oh my god, I forgot her name, and I'm not good with names. That
It's
if
Mabel.
you're facing my house to the right, she was a widow right when I moved
would
in,
be
and she's
our-
that old lady that was like one day she's climbing up in her pear tree picking pears, and another day she's like walking 4 miles to the store. She did great all the way up to the end where she just lost her marbles, man. I had Alzheimer's or something, but what was her name? Oh, I'm so bad with names. I don't know. But
I
it
know
was
what you
that.
mean, Bill. Well,
What?
Thanks,
that-
John.
hey, we've made it to the end. We like to thank not only Amy, what a treat, but everybody that hung out with us in the chat. That was super fun. Next week, I don't have a confirmation who's on next week, but somebody's going to be. We do
Podcast
have-
is going downhill, folks.
We do have Jack Harrison in December, so we'll probably have to do some kind of
That'll
funny
be
thing.
that'll be
He has
lunacy.
speaking of toolboxes, he's got a
Yeah.
toolbox of
been a-
tools, right?
It's been a long time.
He's got a mind toolbox.
Mind toolbox, right?
Other than that, Amy, thank you so much for a delightful evening. Hopefully, your friends and colleagues aren't going to.
No, she's gonna
watch
hide.
this?
She's gonna hide this. If
Snicker.
she's smart, she will hide this from everybody.
But other than that, folks, we will see you next Tuesday. Have a great week, and yeah, here we go.